I am Dr. K. Anandan, Assistant Professor, Department of Physics, Amat University. So now we are going to discuss about dia-para-ferromagnetic material. So before start the main topic about dia-para-ferromagnetic material, we have to learn some basics about magnet. Okay. So what is magnet? Magnet is a solid object. Magnet is a solid object which can attract any ion containing particle or object, that is a magnet. So it can attract any ion containing particle or object. There are the three type of magnet. So first one is a temporary magnet, then second one is a permanent magnet, the third one is the electromagnet. So what is a temporary magnet? If a temporary magnet, if you are taking this as a one of magnet, okay, if this is a magnet, but this is not a magnet, but this is a iron rod or ion containing any particle. So when we are keeping with the magnet, so that ion containing material will be magnetized, and then further if you are join any ion particle with this, it also will be magnetized. So the main source is initially we are kept this magnet, then this is magnet, then further one more thing again is magnetized. So that is once if you are remove the magnet, the ion containing material or the rod will be lost their magnetization. So obviously the next whatever the we are connected, the next content, that is also will be lost their magnetization. So this is a temporary magnet. So it can easily magnetize, but when we are remove the original source of the magnet, they are lost their magnetization. That is a temporary magnet. Then what is a permanent magnet? The permanent magnet is that is a alloys. So the alnico, that is a alloys is a aluminium, nickel, cobalt. So the combine of these metals making a permanent magnet. So once it is magnetized, it will never lose their magnetization. That is a permanent magnet. Okay. Then the last one is a electromagnet. So what is the electromagnet? We know that. Okay. So whenever in the loop of coil, we are passing the current. Whenever we are passing the current in the loop of coil, through the loop of coil, if you are keeping the iron rod at the middle, the rod will get the strong magnet. The rod get the strong magnet. So we are passing the current through the loop of coil. So we are kept the iron rod at the middle. So the rod get the magnetization. It acts as a bar magnet. So comparatively, temporary magnet and the permanent magnet, the electromagnet is a very strong magnet. So wherever we are required a very strong magnet, wherever we are need a very strong magnet, we are using the electromagnet only. This is a temporary magnet. So this is a magnet. So this is an iron rod. This is your iron rod. In the iron rod, so from the magnet, the iron rod get the magnetization. Okay. So when we are the pin, we are connected with the rod, the pin also will get a magnetization. As same, the screw also will get the magnetization. Once you are remove this magnet, the rod will lose their magnetization, the pin will lose their magnetization, as well as the screw will lose their magnetization. So there is a temporary magnet. Okay. Then the next, this is your permanent magnet. The permanent magnet, it's a combined, there is a alloys, there is a alnico, so aluminum, nickel and cobalt. There is a alloys of aluminum, nickel and cobalt. That is a, it made by using the these three metals. So that is a alnico. Once it is magnetized, they will never lose their magnetization. So as same, you know that the what is the electromagnetism. Okay. So now we are going to discuss about the magnetic material. Now we are going to discuss about the magnetic material. There are the three type of magnetic material. The one is diamagnetic material, paramagnetic material and ferromagnetic material. Okay. So the dia, para and ferromagnetic material, how we can define which one is the dia, which one is the para and which one is the ferro? How the material is behaving in the external magnetic field, how the material is behaving in the external magnetic field. So based on the behavior in the external magnetic field, we can conclude which one is a dia and which one is a para and which one is a ferro. Okay. Now we are going to discuss about the dia, para and ferro with the diagram. Okay. So this is a diamagnetic material and this is your paramagnetic material and this is your ferromagnetic material. Okay. So now we are going to keep in the external magnetic field. This is your external magnetic field. Okay. So this is your direction of your external magnetic field. So the diamagnetic material and the paramagnetic material, ferromagnetic material. So we are kept the diamagnetic material in the external magnetic field. So the direction of external magnetic field, this is a direction. Got it? Okay. So the paramagnetic material. So bring the paramagnetic material. And keep in the external magnetic field as same your ferromagnetic material. Normally there is no any magnetic moment for own in the dia. There is no any magnetic moment in the diamagnetic material, that is a fully empty. But in the paramagnetic material, it having some own magnetic moment, but the lines are in different direction. The lines are in different direction. Got it? Same. So in the ferromagnetic material, here the lines are in different direction. In the ferromagnetic material, a number of domain will be available. A number of domain will be available. So this is a number of domain. Got it? So within the domain, the lines are in the same direction, but the domains in a different direction. Okay. Within the domain, the lines are in same direction, but the domains, different domain in a different direction. See, so there is no any magnetic moment within by own by in the diamagnetic material, but the paramagnetic material is having some magnetic moment in a different direction. The ferromagnetic material different domain, different direction. So when we are keeping the diamagnetic material in the external magnetic field, the magnetization will be induced in opposite direction. The magnetization will be induced in the opposite direction. So the magnetization will be induced opposite direction to the external magnetic field. So this is your direction of your external magnetic field. The induced magnetization will be in the opposite direction. Clear? So now here the paramagnetic material. So the paramagnetic material, different direction, when we are keeping in the external magnetic field, so all the line will come align in the same direction of your external magnetic field. So come and align in the same direction of your external magnetic field. Got it? So here the number of domain is available. Okay, so number of domain in the different direction. So when we are keeping in the ferromagnetic material in the external magnetic field, all the domain will come in the same direction of your external magnetic field. Will come in the same direction of your external magnetic field. Got it? So this diagram we can draw like this. Which means all the line in the same direction. Got it? So there is no any own magnetic moment. These both having some own magnetic moment. When we are keeping in the external magnetic field, it gets the same direction of induced magnetic field, but this is your opposite direction. Okay, this is the dia, para and ferro. Extent of the ferro. Some ferromagnetic material, how they are behaving in the external magnetic field. So some material, when we are keeping in the external magnetic field, this is your direction of your external magnetic and external magnetic lines. Okay, so some material like chromium and MnO, this kind of material, how they are behaving in the external magnetic field. See, the first line, the same direction. What is the external magnetic field? The same direction, but the adjacent line will be in the opposite direction. And then next same direction, the next one opposite direction. See here, each line is balanced by the next one. So each line is balanced by the next one. So what is the net magnetization here? Net magnetization is 0. Okay, so the name of the material antiferro. Okay, and here and some material like Mn Fe2O4, some material will act. So the first line in the same direction of your external magnetic line, the next line, the adjacent one, it is not in the same direction, it is in the opposite direction, but it is not completely in the opposite direction. Can you able to understand? See here, it is a completely returned, it is a completely in the opposite direction, the adjacent line, but here the adjacent line, it is returned, but it is not completely. So half of the previous one, then full line, the same direction, then next half. So what is the net magnetization here? So here it is a completely in the same direction. Here one line completely in the same direction, the adjacent line will be in the opposite direction. But here one line in the same direction, the adjacent line will be opposite direction, but it is not completely. So it is not coming under the ferromagnetic material, and it is not completely come under the antiferromagnetic material. So the net magnetization of this material will be available between the ferro and antiferro. Between the ferro and antiferro. So the name of the material is ferri. So name of the material is a ferri. So now I hope everyone is clear. So dia, para, ferro is a three main magnetic material. It don't have any own magnetic moment. These do having. So when we are keeping these three material in the external magnetic field, it induced magnetic field in the opposite direction. The induced magnetic field in the same align in the external magnetic line, and this is also the same direction. So some ferromagnetic material will act as a one line in the same direction, the adjacent line in the opposite direction. So both will be balanced. So the net magnetization will be 0. That is the name of the material is a antiferromagnetic material. And some ferromagnetic material will act as a one line in the same direction. The next line will be opposite direction, but it's not completely opposite direction. So the net magnetization will be available between the ferro and antiferro. Okay. So now we will move for the comparison for the dia, para and ferromagnetic material. So how the dia, para and ferromagnetic material behave in the external magnetic field based on that dia, para, ferro and antiferro and ferrimagnetic material we have discussed. So the diamagnetic material and paramagnetic material will be disappear. Will be disappear mean, so once if you are remove the external magnetic field, how they are in original in the own magnetic moment, in the beginning stage it return to the same level, but in the ferromagnetic material it's remain constant. Once it is aligned in the external magnetic direction, it will remain constant. It will not return to the original state once if you are remove the external magnetic field. Okay. Okay. So that is everything we have discussed. Okay. Comparison of dia, para and ferromagnetic material. So diamagnetic substance is feebly repelled by the magnet. Whenever we are keeping in the magnetic or the magnetic field, the diamagnetic material will repelled by the magnet. So the antimony, bismuth, copper, gold, silver, this material will coming under the diamagnetic material. Then the paramagnetic material, the paramagnetic substance which are feebly attracted by the magnet, which attract. The diamagnetic material will be feebly repelled, but the para and ferromagnetic material will attract by the magnet. So the aluminum, chromium, this type of material is coming under the paramagnetic material. It's field the attracted, but when we are go for the ferromagnetic material, it's strongly attracted. It's the dia, it's a field the repelled, para attraction, ferro strongly attraction. Okay. So that is the first point. The next point is, when we are placed the diamagnetic material in the magnetic field, the lines tend to avoid the substance. It's not ready to enter the substance. The magnetic lines, so normally it's not ready to enter the substance, the diamagnetic substance. But when the paramagnetic material is kept in the magnetic field, the lines is ready to enter. It's not avoid the substance, it's just ready to, just understand the word, it just ready to enter the paramagnetic material. Okay. So when we are keeping the ferromagnetic material in the magnetic field, the lines too ready to enter very forcefully. So the number of lines maximum enter in the ferromagnetic material. Okay. So the first point is, it getting the repelled force and the attracted for the para and the strongly attracted ferro, and the lines is not ready to enter the diamagnetic material, and the paramagnetic material, the lines are ready to just enter the paramagnetic material. the ferromagnetic material is ready to forcefully enter the ferromagnetic material. So, the number of lines will be maximum in the ferromagnetic material. So, when we are placed the diamagnetic material and the paramagnetic material and the ferromagnetic material in non-uniform magnetic field, in non-uniform magnetic field, the non-uniform magnetic field. So, the diamagnetic material, so the non-uniform means one place is a high magnetic field, another place is a low magnetic field. So, the diamagnetic material, already I told, the diamagnetic material will get the repelled force by the magnet. So, the diamagnetic material will move stronger into weaker end. So, the non-uniform field, it's move stronger into weaker end because it getting the repelled force, by the magnet. So, when we are move for the para and ferromagnetic material, both will move from the weaker end to stronger end because it is attracted by the magnet. Okay. So, paramagnet material will go for the weaker end to stronger end. Okay. Ferromagnetic material very fastly move weaker end to stronger end. Okay. So, the attraction is a maximum. Okay. That is a third point. Then the fourth point, in the uniform magnetic field. In the uniform magnetic field, when you are suspended the diamagnetic needle, in the uniform magnetic field, when you are suspended the diamagnetic needle. So, this is your uniform magnetic field, this is your diamagnetic material. So, when we are freely suspended, the material will come on perpendicular to the direction of your field. So, this is your direction, the line, the magnetic needle will come and stay in the perpendicular to the direction. Okay. But the paramagnetic material and the ferromagnetic material will come and align the same direction of your uniform field, uniform magnetic field. So, the dia alone will come and align in the perpendicular to the direction of your magnetic field, but the para and ferro material will come and align in the same direction of the parallel to the external magnetic field. Okay. The next, so this is your you just imagine we are taking the diamagnetic material liquid as a liquid form. We are taking as a diamagnetic material as a liquid form. So, this is your diamagnetic material, we are taking as a in the glass vessel. We are taking as a glass vessel. So, in the glass vessels we are taking the diamagnetic material liquid. So, two magnet, both magnet we are bringing near to each. So, at the middle when we are bringing the two magnet at the middle, the magnetic field is a high. So, in the liquid, in the vessel, in the glass vessel, we having the diamagnetic liquid. Okay. So, normally the diamagnetic material will get the repelled force. So, at the middle we having the strong magnetic field. So, the diamagnetic liquid will go away from the middle. So, that is this diagram. At the middle, it's from the middle it's going for both sides. From the middle it's going this side and this side. It making a thinner part. So, some material will go your right side, some material will go your left side. It's making a very thinner part. It's not ready to occupy at the center. It's not ready to collected at the center because it's go stronger into weaker end, as well as it getting the repelled force by the magnet. Okay. Then, so that's the first stage. So, when we are moving the magnet from this position, if you are moving the magnet like this, so at the middle the magnetic field is a low. Okay. So, this end and this end the magnetic field is a high comparatively at the middle. So, now when we are bringing the two magnet at the nearer to each other, the material will move for the both side, but when we are moved the two magnet away from the center, all the diamagnetic material come and collect at the middle. In the second case, for the two side, the magnetic field is a high, at the middle is a low. So from stronger end to the diamagnetic material will collect at the middle because there is a low magnetic field. So it's moving stronger end to weaker end. Okay, just opposite of this two process apply for the para and ferromagnetic material. So when we are bringing the two magnet, so the stronger field, so the material collected at the center, so this point and this point. Okay, so when we are moving the two magnet far away, at the middle the magnetic field is a low, but at the edges of the magnet the field is a high. So it's away from the middle, that is this point. Okay, in the point, so when the diamagnetic substance is placed in a magnetic field, it is weakly magnetized. It is a weakly magnetized, but in the opposite direction. It is getting a weakly magnetized whenever we are keeping in the external magnetic field, but in the opposite direction. But the paramagnetic material, it getting the weakly magnetized, but in the same direction of your external magnetic field. It is getting the weakly magnetized, but in the same direction of your magnetic field, external magnetic field. The ferromagnetic material is strongly magnetized in the same direction of your external magnetic field. Then the next point is a induced dipole moment is a small but in negative value. That is, the magnetic moment is induced in the diamagnetic material, it is the opposite value, that is the direction is opposite. So obviously it is a negative value. It is a weakly magnetized. So the magnetic moment is a low as well as in the negative. Low as well as in the negative. But the paramagnetic material, it is a weakly magnetized. So the magnetized values is a low but in the positive. That is a positive. So that is a induced dipole moment is a small value, but it is a positive value. In the ferromagnetic material, the dipole moment is a large, but because its attraction is a very high. So it is having the large value in the positive value. Then the next value, the intensity of the magnetization, So the diamagnetic material, so very no, already discussed the things. So the diamagnetic material is getting weakly magnetized in the negative direction. So the intensity also will be low in the negative, and the intensity also will be low in the negative. That is a small value in the negative. The paramagnetic material is also low value, but in the positive value, because the same direction it is a magnetized. The ferromagnetic material, it having the large value, same positive value. Then magnetic permeability. Magnetic permeability is always less than the 1. So I think you have remember when we have discussed in the first slide, the second point I told, when we are keeping the diamagnetic material in the magnetic field, the lines is not ready to enter. The lines is not ready to enter the diamagnetic material. So that is a magnetic permeability. It is a entering capacity. So magnetic permeability is a less than the 1, but it just ready to enter in the paramagnetic material. So the permeability, magnetic permeability is a more than the 1. Is a more than the 1. Then magnetic permeability mu is a larger, because a large number of lines is ready to enter in the ferromagnetic material. So the magnetic permeability mu is a very large. So much more than the unity. So more than the 1. Okay. So there is a less than the 1 for the dia, more than the 1 for the ferro, para, and more number of lines will be enter in the ferromagnetic material. So magnetic susceptibility. Magnetic susceptibility also will be a negative value as well as the small value. Okay. The positive value for the para and ferro, low for the para and large for the ferro. Okay, the last one. They do not obey the Curie law. Their properties do not change with the temperature. What is the Curie law? Whenever we are increasing the temperature, it is not changing anything. It is not changing anything in the diamagnetic material. That is, they are told as they do not obey the Curie law. But in the paramagnetic material, they obey the Curie law. Whenever you are increasing the temperature, they are lost their magnetization. They are lost their magnetization, which means they are obeying the Curie law. The ferromagnetic material, they also obey the Curie law, but whenever we are increasing the temperature, gradually is lost their magnetization. One certain point, they are lost their magnetization. It is so normally that is a ferromagnetic material. When we are increasing the temperature, they are lost their magnetization. On certain point, it acts as a paramagnetic material. It acted as a paramagnetic material. So on which point it is acted as a paramagnetic material? That is a Curie point. That is a Curie point. So the ferromagnetic material will obey the Curie law. At certain temperature, they changed as a paramagnetic material, acted as a they are lost their magnetization and acted as a paramagnetic material. That point is a Curie point. Okay. So these are the things. Comparison about the dia, para and ferromagnetic material. Okay. Applications of ferromagnetic material. So applications of ferromagnetic material, that is a history slew for the ferromagnetic material. So we know that a number of domain in a different direction for the ferromagnetic material. So when we are keeping in the external magnetic field, so all the domain will come in the align in the same direction of your external magnetic field. And one more thing I told, whenever we are remove the external magnetic field, paramagnetic material will disappear, which means it's common in the original position, but the ferromagnetic material will not come on its original position. Okay, it's not coming in the original position. So here in the point here, so normally this is a original stage. So we are going to increase the applied magnetic field in the x-axis, and the magnetization of the material will be increased in the y-axis. So here we are increased from the 0 to we are applied magnetic field. So you just imagine, this is a direction. So this is your direction of your ferromagnetic material. So in the x-axis, that is your applied magnetic field. When we are giving the applied magnetic field, these lines, the direction will be slowly change and come and align in the same direction. So from here to in the x-axis, we are increasing the applied magnetic field. So from this stage to it come and align in the same direction of your external magnetic field, and one certain period it will come on saturated position. That means the same direction of your external magnetic field. Okay, I told when we are remove the external magnetic field, it will not come its original position, it remain constant. So now from this position to we are returned to the 0, the applied magnetic field we are returned to the 0, it will not return, just slightly decrease their magnetization, but it is not reached in the original position. Then further we are moving to increase the applied magnetic field in the opposite direction. Initially we are started from here to here, then reached the saturation level, then return to the 0, it is not returned, just slightly turned. Then we are increasing the applied magnetic field in the opposite direction. So when we are increasing the applied magnetic field in the opposite direction, from this position to is coming and reach the original position. This is the first position, it come and reach the original position, then is turned to in the opposite direction. Okay, so it's on one particular stage it will get the saturated level, and then when we are remove this applied magnetic field in the opposite direction to bring the 0. Okay, then it's coming again, it's a slowly. Okay, then sufficient level of applied magnetic field applied in the same direction, it reached the same position. So here the hysteresis is available. So from the 0 it is reached A, that is a saturated level. Then when we are remove the applied magnetic field from the position to 0, bring the 0, then it is returned to B. Okay, from the B we are again increasing the applied magnetic field from 0 to the negative direction, then it's increasing, reached at the C. That is the original position. Again it's reached as a D, so that is a saturated position. Then when we are remove the applied magnetic field from this position to 0, again it is reached as a D. Then a sufficient level of applied magnetic field applied in the same direction, it will reach at the F. So what is from the A and B? So in the magnetization of the material, so what is a level here from A to B? So this is a residual magnetization. This is a residual magnetization. That residual magnetization we are using in the magnetic memory devices. So that residual magnetization we are using magnetic memory devices. Okay. So the students, so in the classes we have discussed about what is a magnet, what is a different type of magnet, and what is a different type of magnetic material, and where we are using the ferromagnetic material. Okay. So I hope everyone is understood. Okay, we will see in the next class. Thank you.